Accessibility of an ebook reader is conditioned by 3 factors: the kind of book, the device in which it's going to be read, and the format. Regarding the type of content, a literature book, such as it was mentioned in the previous presentation, is not the same as a mathematics book or a music book. It's not the same to have an art book which may have many images and is necessary for the person that is going to access that book and needs to know what are the images and what they contain. Let's see why an ebook may be interesting for providers. There are different reasons. An ebook, at the end of the day, is nothing but a product for a devoted to a specific user. We have seen lately that as soon as there are e-readers in the market, ebook readers in the market, when you can buy them in a store, and there are many different makes, especially in the Anglo-Saxon world, there's 2 main ones, which are big multinationals in this business. One of them is Amazon, who has developed its own product, and this is the star product, known nearly all over the world. The other one may be Barnes & Noble, that have a large library of content also, and they have their own retail player. If we translate this to the Spanish market, well, we are not as advanced. There are some e-book stores, there are some initiatives with greater or smaller success, such as Ibranta, but we are still not as advanced as the Anglo-Saxon world. However, this market is still of interest because, according to a study done by the National Federation of Librarians, National Association of Booksellers, together with the public authorities, etc., and they have done a study, and out of 47 million people that we have in Spain, 85% say they are frequent readers. 60% of those read books, with an average of 9 books per year, more or less. 21% of those that have been interviewed say that they read because of work reasons. They need to read for work. And if we extract all this data regarding the digital readers, 47.8% state that they read in digital format. 37% of them use websites, blogs, etc. 30% read newspapers, 6% read magazines, and 5% read books. If we extrapolate this data to the total of the population, taking into consideration the percentage of readers, then, and this argument is based not on the slide but on the content of this presentation, it says that about 1% of the Spanish population are potential users of e-book readers. And so if we extrapolate this to the 47 million, that means that there is an important percentage of users that can use e-books. And according to recent data extracted from the turnover of e-commerce, approximately 3% of the sales of books in Spain are digital books, and this figure is increasing. Let's see what happens now with people with who are visually impaired. This is a very peculiar group with regards to reading habits, because they basically have two different reading methods: Braille or the audiobooks. And the Braille needs progressive training, because it's based on the development of the touch, of the sense of the touch, and so it's not applicable for people that want to use it when they are of a specific age. So, for instance, I'm not very good at reading Braille because I started reading it after the age of 30. After the age of 20 or so, you will never be a good Braille reader, because the sense of the touch has not been developed enough to be a fast reader. I have friends that read about 150 words in Braille. This is a very good speed. However, I can only read 50. So when working with books in Braille, I'll never be able to compete with them. Another thing is that the space that they take. A normal piece of paper, a normal sheet, when transcribed to Braille, it's equivalent to 3 in A3 size, to 3 pages in A3. And if normal paper weighs 70 grams per square meter, Braille paper, the worst one, weighs about 110 or 120. So imagine how big a book in Braille is. For instance, the Don Quixote is equivalent to 24 yellow pages in Braille. So imagine, that means that we have to move on. It's so big. Another disadvantage is that, yes, it's very good that the new technologies allow me to read virtual Braille. In fact, I hardly ever read it on paper, even though I do use Braille lines. But what happens with this virtual Braille? First of all, I can only see a very small part of the text, maximum of 80 characters. Some only 40, and they're very expensive. A modern Braille line of 40 characters is about 5,000 euros, just to give you an example. So what are the advantages? There are some advantages. First of all, I am the one reading. Braille is equivalent to ink to a blind person. There is no intermediate that is telling me the information. For instance, I use audio books a lot, but when I have to read something that is not in Spanish, I use Braille, because I'm really sorry, but the synthesis of voices in English, I do not agree with me. I do not like to listen to it in English. However, audiobooks take less space, especially now, with the development of the DAISY systems and the large storage devices, etc. They're easy to take anywhere. However, the inconvenience is that unless you're using a computer with a screen reader, like I am, and so I'm able to access this text through the screen reader, I have to base myself on what is being read to me. So what happens to many people that base themselves on everything that's audio is that their orthography is very good, their spelling is awful. Because I wouldn't know if something's written with V or B. I wouldn't know if either would have an H or not. He's giving examples of spelling mistakes in Spanish. And this happens a lot also to Latin Americans, who end up writing as they listen. And sometimes, you without even meeting the person, just by seeing the spelling mistakes, you know the nationality. Currently, users who are visually impaired in Spain, they